Hey guys. Hey Facebook. I wanted to just jump in really briefly today. This isn't going to be a long Q&A or anything like that, but I have had something kind of percolating away, something I've been reflecting on, and wanted to just share a few thoughts. And that's really on the subject of social media doctors. Now, I've had the life-changing experience of turning into first a cancer patient, then a genetics patient, and then going through major surgery and recovering. And so when I look at social media, my perspective has changed a little because I've been sitting in the sort of the place of the patient instead of the place of the doctor. And maybe I've just become a little more sensitive because of that change in perspective, but some of the things I notice and I see, because I follow a lot of different doctors on social media, and I'm starting to, say, some of the content isn't working for me anymore. And I've been sort of chewing that over to myself and trying to reflect on why that is. And I wanted just to share a few thoughts, because I wonder if you guys have noticed this too, that for those of you, and I know lots of people in this community will follow other doctors who are interested in health and wellness and lifestyle medicine and nutrition and all that good stuff. Often medical evidence and scientific studies and clinical trials are used in a way by certain doctors and other healthcare professionals. That data is used in a way that can feel almost aggressive. And then you start to see these battles erupt, right? You start to see the kind of vegan versus paleo, and you see the whole like supplements versus no supplements. And you start to see scientific research and data being used almost as ammunition, right? And more, I just don't have time for it. I'm going to be honest. I just don't have time for it. And so I've been using the power of the unfollow button, which has been super life-changing, and giving myself permission for the content that's not for me. I just am like, bless and release. But more and more, it's not just that scientific evidence is being used as ammunition. I think it's also being used sometimes by social media doctors. It's being used as justification to still cling on to that role of the physician as the person who gets to tell you what to do. Does that make sense? So modern medicine, we know, worships at the altar of that which can be proved in clinical trials, right? And this has been true. I can understand because I'm a medical historian as well as a doctor, and so I can understand why that is and the history of that. But it's still being used, right? So it was used 30 years ago as the reasoning, even 20 years ago, it was used as the justification for why we prescribe certain medications or not, or why we perform surgeries or whatever. And now I'm seeing that same paradigm being used for almost prescribing lifestyle and prescribing for people on social media exactly what they should be eating and exactly what they should be doing for their health. And so to me, the problem that I see with health and healthcare today, the problem I see is not just on that level of, okay, we need to look at our lifestyle, and instead of taking a pill for our diabetes, we need to be exercising for our diabetes, right? That's like level one. And yes, I get that for lifestyle medicine. But then when you look at the deeper levels, I think the real problem we have with our health and healthcare today, it's not that we need to substitute nutrition for pills, right? It's that we need to open our minds. We need to retake responsibility for our own decisions about our health. We need, as patients, right? Because I'm a patient now. As patients, we need to be invited into a deeper level of healing. And so there's a great quote by Einstein that I found earlier today, and I've read this before, but I've never thought about it in quite this way, that Einstein said, we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them. And so that felt very powerful for me when I was thinking about this, because of course it's that medical authority model, that the modern medicine as the modern cathedral, right? Instead of medieval times, we had cathedrals. Now instead we have these beautiful, glistening medical establishments. So if we're hanging on to that paradigm, but instead you're seeing people peppering the medical evidence for exactly what you should eat and exactly how much yoga you should do every day, we're using the same thinking that created the problem in the first place, as Einstein would say. So I think what most of us who are here, and especially in this community, what we're looking for is a real paradigm shift. And so, whereas once upon a time, I used to feel a little bit insecure as a doctor on social media. I used to be like, maybe I should be quoting more data, maybe I should be posting about studies and whatnot. But more and more, I feel this with conviction that I am not here to give you the answers. I am not here to tell you what to do with your life. That is not my goal here. My goal is to share my own experience and to invite you to ask different questions, maybe to ask any questions at all. Maybe for you, the invitation is to rethink about your own life and health. Maybe it's that you need someone to encourage you or give you permission to think about healing in a different way. And, I think when our healthcare system is not in crisis because we don't have enough data. It's because we're not asking enough questions. And I think what we need to see on social media from doctors is, yes, it's great. Don't get me wrong. It's great to share studies that are going to, empower people and give people specific ideas. But I think we could use a little more curiosity and a little less certainty. I think we could use a little more vulnerability and a little less armor. That's what Brene Brown would probably tell us. I think we need more listening from doctors on social media and less judging. I think we need more building bridges with other healers on social media with whom we might not agree, but we need, you know what I mean? We need to build more bridges and spend less time trying to tear each other down. So I think for anyone who does follow other people on social media, whether that's it's not just doctors, right? We see this with nutritionists, and we see this with all sorts of different folks on social media. We see this with yoga instructors, that, give yourself permission. There are so many people out there who have incredible content that is all about this invitation and this sharing the journey and this wonderment and discovery, that just to encourage you to find those people and to follow them, and to give yourself permission to not go down that slippery slope of being sat down and told what to do, because the temptation is real. As a patient, we're used to taking that posture with doctors, and as doctors, we're used to taking that posture with patients. So this is something that I've been really tuned into, and I'm going to try to let that guide some of my content. I'm certainly going to be letting that guide me as a consumer of social media as well. So would love to hear your thoughts. Would love you to help keep me accountable. So if you ever see me starting to get authoritative or putting that crisp white coat back on, feel free to remind me. And yeah, would love to hear what you all have to say, what you think about this, if this resonates. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm going to go feed my kids. It's that time of day. All right. Bye, guys.